Hello, welcome everyone back to the stream. It is Friday. We're gonna have a good stream today. We have a special guest, Justin Werlein. He's been requested quite a lot from you guys, especially like when we talk about mental game. I think you guys have talked about how he's helped you out there. So I'm excited to do some like pre-market analysis and just like talking in general about mindset and the market with Justin. So here we are. Welcome, Justin.
Thank you. How are we doing, guys? Hope everyone's having a good Friday morning.
Yeah, it is. It's been a crazy week, honestly. Like, pretty crazy week. How have you been doing this week?
Can I ask you? I'm curious what the week's been like for you. Have you seen good setups in terms of your trading?
I honestly have. Like, maybe not yesterday, but CPI is always my favorite day to trade. I like that day. And the day before CPI was like surprisingly good. Like typically the day before CPI, I don't even like to really actively trade at all. But I was surprised that we had quite the expansion. We had a lot of expansion days. Even Monday was a huge expansion day. But there were a couple days where like it'll just run without me, and I just have to accept that. Not that I won't get a setup, but other than that, I've had a pretty like sick week, especially CPI and day before CPI. And then yesterday I was on like a 6-day win streak. I'm not gonna lie. And yesterday I broke the streak, had a small loss there, less like negative 0.75 R, and I'm like kind of relieved that the pressure's off a little bit.
Yeah, that's a really big thing too. Like when you're trading, and a lot of the time our ego starts to creep in a little bit and care more about just like the perfectionist side of us, where it doesn't really matter if how much we're winning or how much we're losing. We just want to see green and like a streak of it.
Yeah, 100%. Like I think though I am a perfectionist, and a lot of times it does help me though, because it just always pushes me to improve and do better. But sometimes you could just really be hard on yourself for no reason when like it's like, okay, maybe maybe the market's just really tough and stopping people on both sides before the move, But it has its pros and cons, I'd say. Would you describe yourself as a perfectionist too?
I don't know if I would. It depends what it is. Like, for example, if I'm working on something like that my name is attached to, then I would consider myself a perfectionist.
Right.
But a lot of the time it also kind of depends on the work. Like if it's creative work, then being a perfectionist then actually gets in the way of it being a good creative piece of work. Because like a lot of the time when you're creating like good like if you're making like a video or a film or music, like you get to a point where there has to be a point in time to say like it's finished, and it's very hard to say it's finished. And so there's kind of like this kind of wobbly, depending on like what you're actually putting your work into to cause you a perfection. I think trading, you should be a perfectionist, because like there's always going to be room to improve. But again, the other side of it is like you can't also be guilt tripping yourself and like that side of a perfectionist. Like you can be a perfectionist without like guilt tricking yourself and like getting upset at yourself over making mistakes. And or more creative side of work, I think you have to have a kind of a balance to not be a perfectionist in some way.
Yeah, I've learned that definitely to like stop shaming myself. Like, hey, everybody has a bad day here and there. It's just about not letting the bad days get into really bad days.
Yeah.
I think it's really easy to start shaming yourself, and that really doesn't like open up your mind to new ideas or new possibilities. You know, you have to keep your mind like I really think the abundance mindset definitely trumps any type of like what is it, scarcity mindset.
Yeah.
So,
You can be in a growth mindset versus scarcity mindset.
yeah,
like,
exactly.
Depending if you come into complications where you come into the market. And I think the biggest thing is you have to be aware of it though, because you get to decide if you want to be a third person to you guilt tripping yourself, or you get to sit there and be like, okay, I got to stop doing this. Like, I am currently actively putting this energy back into myself that is going to most likely cause me to continue to make the mistakes over and over again. And so I think a lot of people, the problem is that they wallow too much, and that's just human nature. Like, we like to wallow in our own pity and in our own sort of like sorrow in certain times because it's a comforting. It's like, it's just a trauma recognition reaction. But I think you have to be able to reflect on like the mistakes make without being able to like from a third person environment. Because if you tie yourself and your identity to the results, that's when the problem arises, because you're thinking like this is a reflection of me and not a third person reflection of just an action that will end up being improved in the long run. So anybody that has a problem with, you know, having a bad day here and there or having a lost day and you end up like really being down the rest of the day, you have to ask yourself, how attached are you to the outcome? Not just that, but like the identity of it. Like, do you value yourself based off of the money you make, based off of the friends you have, based off of like the house that you live in? Because you have to understand that none of those things actually determine who you are as an individual. And if you tie those things to it, you will always feel like you're stuck in a race to success or a race to validation.
Yeah,
you're incorporating these factors that really have no incorporation of who you are as an individual.
100%, I think. So how have you been doing this week in the market?
Yeah, this week has honestly been pretty good. I think yesterday was only the only day that was a little messed up with that little stop out. I kind of told myself I wasn't going to re-enter on it, so there was really I was okay with it. Ended up just taking that one stab, got stopped, and then.
Wait, that was yesterday. I thought yesterday you had a win of like the SMT.
Oh, not yesterday. Sorry, not yesterday. Wednesday.
There was a 10 a.m. news. I think that was Tuesday, actually. Was it
Tuesday?
I think it was Jolt's Jobs opening. I remember because it was like a crazy 10 a.m. stop out on both sides. I think a lot of people got
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah. Time flies when you're having fun. Have you been mostly trading NQ like still, or do you ever take the S&P 500?
No, I was talking about that with my students last night. This week I've taken, I think, 2 of the trades on ES because I think ES has been a weaker asset some of the days. And I know that we've had a bearish SMT, I think on when was this? I think was this Thursday? I think it was Thursday when we had data 8:30 news, and then market opened with that bearish SMT. ES was a weaker asset. It on ES.
That was yesterday. Yeah. Let's see. We had the PPI yesterday, 8:30 news, and then I didn't even notice this here actually. I remember seeing your trade. I was like, I didn't even notice that. Like, do you look at like SMTs on every time frame, like the 1 minute still, like even the 30-second, or?
Yeah, and the reason why, now it depends on what the context is, because sometimes it can end up just tricking you up and you're just going to get chopped up. But the ways in which I want to use it is if it just is in relationship to my model. So it's like, okay, is it in favor of the draw? That's number one. Is it in favor of some sort of like time? Like, are we near our open? Is there a reason for price to move? And then I also like to zoom in because like price is completely fractal. So if an SMT gets put on a lower time frame, the only way that I can like build confidence enough to know that I'm not going to get like chopped up on the lower time frame is if there's an inverse for value gap and a change in the state after it. And if there's still internal liquidity in relationship to external liquidity, then that's enough for me to enter that short.
Okay. So this was your trade. There was an SMT here around like 936, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. And you shorted ES?
I did, yes.
Okay. Why was ES like weaker to you here when ES took out this little high?
Wait, no, that's actually not it. It's to the left. If you the SMT from let me check my chart.
Yeah, I'm pretty interested because like I know you look at SMTs on a lot of like time frames. I maybe look at it. I do look on the higher time frames, mostly 15 and everything above the 15. And then also I do love it when there's like a 15-minute SMT and then again near the open there's a 1-minute one.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's like extra confirmation.
Yeah. Yeah. You always want to overlap the biases. It was the high to the left. So if you look at those two kind of there's SMT there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wait, but didn't you short around near the open though?
Yeah, because it pulled back to that inverse. So if like that move up to that data high,
this was your
SMT, and then that fair value got ran through on the bigger time frame, and then there was a change in the state. So that move at open that we just continued to reject going higher, that was just us rejecting the change in the state.
Okay, got you. Huh. Okay. So this was your little SMT there, and then at the open, you had this large down close candle with your confirmation, and then you went and shorted ES probably and with a stop here at this high. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. And what is your entry like always the same or does it like defer? For me, I'm very flexible with my entries. It could be a fair value gap. It could be an inverse fair value gap. Same to you?
I mean, I think the more that time goes on, the more that it starts to be solidified just because like I've built a lot of confidence in my model. And I think like when you see something happen like over and over again with very little fail, it almost makes you like not want to trade anything else.
Right.
So, but before I would say yes. Now, when it comes to like an entry model, I definitely can be flexible with where I'm actually entering, but there has to be overall context that line up with pretty much every trade I take. Like there's got to be high confident draw on liquidity. There's got to be an SMT. There's got to be a change in state. There's got to be a fair value of get ran through. Like there's got to be a model. But then after all of that happens, then I can zoom in and then I can look for a fair value gap. Maybe wait for another internal SMT to happen. That's where I'm flexible. It's like once all the bigger time frame stuff has happened, then I can be flexible with the entry.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I'm pretty flexible with the entries nowadays. But yeah, if you have a really confident draw on liquidity, and if you know if it's, especially if I know if it's a low resistance liquidity run day, just by looking at how price has been moving, if it's been respecting it, then I'll be more flexible in getting in because I know that we're going to expand. We're in expansion mode. So where did you target? Did you target London lows or like pre-market low here?
I believe so. Actually, I think I probably took it off early. I've been honestly like this week. I think the only thing that I could reflect on this week is taking my positions off a little early this week.
I would say for me, it's actually I think there is a little bit of a showmanship in the streaming sometimes where I do like to partial. I do like to hold at least a couple runners to my final targets. And maybe I think just one day where the target, it didn't reach it. It was CPI. Honestly, I was expecting an expansion day towards the new lows of the week. So I was comfortable holding it because so many times, CPI is an expansion day, a large candle. But on that day, it ended up like stopping me out in profit. I wanted over 200 points on stream. We didn't get it, but it's happened. It was like literally this 4-hour candle here, right?
Yeah.
And that I definitely did expect us to go to new lows of the weeks, but I was fine because you take partials along the way to like my second target, et cetera. It was over 2R, and where I got stopped out in profit, it was already like where below the previous new low of day. So I think a lot of it does sometimes come down to that, where it's like, oh no, I want it to be a banger and things like that.
Exactly.
Like it was funny. I mean, yesterday I was in longs, and I did get stopped out. I mean, I could have had a better performance yesterday, but Just didn't, like I said, I was just a little bit too slow I was looking for moves back to the upside, and I noted like this. I was like, I want to see this get respected. I saw this inversion. Now I want to see this fair value gap get respected. And we did. And then I was kind of like just watching this one. I was like, I don't really feel like getting it, but it really respected this perfectly. And then I got in like around here, just like little volume imbalance, because I thought we were going to at least, go to the first 200 FEG of the day, which we did. I did take a partial. And then I was like, oh, we're going to run these smooth highs. And during this candle, I was like, we're doing a rocket ship, and bam, we just stopped me out in like small profit there. And then I was like, all right, that's fine. And then I just tried long one more time here. And then this candle, pretty much, I was like, all right, I'm cutting this before it goes lower. And it was so funny because right after I cut it, this candle to the upside happened. And I was like, no, it's not going to get me this. It's not going to entice me back in. I'm done. This is going to be pretty choppy for the rest of the morning, I think. And I was like, oh, well, I'll look for these highs to get ran out later in the afternoon. But, during the afternoon, it looked like shit. Like we were just dropping lower, slowly grind lower. So it's not bad at all for me.
How long do you normally stay on the charts? Or is there, and what's the kind of the signals for you to get off?
Yeah, I'll pretty much get off at 11:10. Like I like to stay for the 10:50 macro, but like if by 11 I'm not in a trade, well, 11:30 is really my cutoff time for a trade. But like I said, if price action's not really doing what I want it to, I'm gonna get off earlier. Yeah, pretty much.
Is there any scenario in which you hop off after taking a win early?
I think I have.
Or is it because streaming? You kind of
because I stream. Yeah. I think a lot of people still want me to do some analysis, and maybe I'll just do some analysis.
Does that affect? Is there times where you ever kind of?
Well, I forgot what day was it. I think it was CPI. I was pretty confident though in the draw lower, and I took like 3 trades, and they were all winning trades, and it was a massive day for me. I was like up like 3.5 R, and on Wednesday, and that was really more about recognizing that the market is moving well and the price action is really favorable to how I trade. So I think that once you get to a certain point of experience, like you should be taking advantage of that, because so much of the time you're just waiting around for a setup and it's just like choppy, and we're in consolidation. Most of the time the market is not trending. So like 20-30% of the time we were in a trending market, I'm comfortable taking a second trade after a win. Like I'm not, or even a third one, right? I think it was 2 trades, but like in the first one, I was short ES and I pyramided in, took partials, literally added more again, took partials again, a new low of day, stopped out in profit. And then I went to an NQ and shorted there and caught a lot to the downside, like over 100 points. We wanted 230 points that day, but we got probably like 140 at the end. I think that's where recognizing where, hey, the market structure looks really good. The 4 hour and the 5 minute are aligned, 4 hour and the 15 and the 1 are all aligned bearish. It's like a no brainer to get in. And even if you get stopped out in, on like a pullback retracement to like a 15-minute SIBI, for example, right? That's what happens sometimes. It's like, okay, we expanded now to the first low. Now we're going to retrace back, and maybe you're getting stopped out of runners because you're protecting your capital. Now you can. I think that I can still re-enter then after if you see another lower time frame shift. But how about you? Do you typically like
so like that specific
one win and get off?
Yeah, I mean, so the more that kind of time goes on with my trading, the most consistent that I see myself in my performance is when I treat myself, and like when I say myself, like I can't wait to get off. Like as soon as I sit down and I'm looking at the charts, literally before even market open, my mind is like, I can't wait to get off the charts, because when people first start trading, they're eager to get in. It's the complete opposite. It's like, if you can recognize that that's an immediate factor of self-control, then it's like, okay, well then just flip it. But I think a lot of people have that problem of sticking on the charts when they know that they should get off. And I think especially a lot of young people, one of the biggest problems, and I was talking to somebody in Miami about this, like you have to have something to do, like because
Yeah.
like when I was in high school trading, I would be trading and there would be nothing for me to go do, and so I would just end up sitting on the charts all day and end up taking trades because there was no cutoff, there was no reason to cut off, and so I think like
Right.
the more time goes on, if you can recognize that that's a problem of being able to step away, you have to manufacture a reason to step away, because or else you're gonna you're not gonna listen to yourself, you're not gonna trust yourself to be able to do so. So I think for me, like and to touch on the point that you said of like after that first initial move and then a pullback, a lot of the times I want to be catching whatever the first initial move is, because in my opinion, after that, it's lower probability. Now, if it's in relationship to another model, then I can trade it. So it's like, hey, if we sold off, like if I'm entering and I'm trying to catch a trade lower, that means that there is a reason for me to take that in relationship to a model. Now, if we pull all the way back, that means that there must be like, let's say, a bigger time frame market maker sell model, which then I can then take that into account as a completely separate trade, right? It's a completely separate idea. And if it's a separate idea, then I can take a trade. But if it's the same idea, I can't take it.
I've noticed that, actually. I've noticed that, like, oftentimes if it's the same idea, I'm trying a second time, I'm going to get stopped out again. And that just took experience to figure out. Like, it's like, oh, it's the same idea, it's just a different entry model. No, you shouldn't be taking that. If it's like a different idea, like time frame wise, then it makes sense. I understand what you're saying there.
And I think
you need a lot of self-control to pull yourself out. I think the biggest problem people have really is after they lose a trade, they can't get off, or like lose 2 trades now, they can't get off the charts. I think it's a little different if you had a win and like you're really confident in the next draw being even lower. But most of the time that's not like that. Like I said, it's like we're not trending. Most of the time the market's not trending. But recognizing recently we had a lot of trending days. So the opportunities have been there. But I agree. You need a ton of self-control to be a profitable trader.
Yeah, I think, and I was like talking about this the other day too, like self-control is nothing but just like you proving to yourself that you can have self-control. It's like you can't fake confidence. You can't fake conviction. It's only through your own actions that you can actually end up building to say like, oh, I told myself I was going to do it, and then I actually did it. Like I saw myself do it. And that's the only way to really like build confidence. So it's like anybody in this chat that's struggling with trading discipline, stepping away, not breaking your rules, you have to understand like trading is nothing but a reflection of who you are as an individual. And until you recognize that it's really just a relationship game with yourself, because it's not a relationship with the market. You have to understand, like, you have to be able to trust yourself when you say you're going to step away, when you say you need to follow your rules. If you don't do so and you continue to like prove to yourself that you're not going, that's why also trading ends up being like a down cycle game when you first start. Like you start at a high, and then your cycle kind of just goes down until you hit a hole, and then that's where you kind of have to go back up, like in your trading journey. And I think the reason why that is like you start here at a high, you make a couple wins, and then you realize like trading is actually hard. The reason like that continues to go down is because you continue to prove to yourself that you can't trust yourself. Like you say you're not going to do something, you say you're not going to do this, and then you keep doing it over and over again. And then your confidence gets diminished, your self-relationship gets diminished, and then you end up just living in a fairy tale, lying to yourself over and over again.
Yeah, I think that's a really important point you make there. I think that confidence comes from like keeping promises to yourself. 100%. That's where it comes from. Otherwise, you can't trust yourself, and then you lose confidence in yourself. So do you have a bias today?
Yeah. So I think I'm going to be very, very patient at open, just because like possible TGIF, but also order flow has been so bearish. So it's like, I'm not going to, be super set on that. I'd like to see, let me see kind of where we are actually.
I think we have SMTs, like where, yesterday ES made a new low of the week and NQ did not. So that's interest. That's an interest to me as well.
Yeah, I'd want to see manipulation on either side of the market until it's like clear. Like I like to think of it as like trading's a game of Pictionary. Like if you are playing a game of Pictionary and you yell out the answer too fast because you care more about being right than successful, you're going to be wrong. Like you're going to obviously be wrong. So it's like treat the game like like a game of Pictionary. If you're watching the chart and act like you only have one guess to win $1 million, like, and that's how you should be, like, that's how you should treat it. And wait for the picture to be dumb clear. If the picture's not dumb clear and you can't look at it and be like, oh, that's a sailboat, then there's no reason for you to like take the trade.
Right. I agree. I think I was saying that yesterday. If you don't know the drawn liquidity, there's no trade, point blank. That's like the first step. 100%. And then second step is like figuring out if the structure is good enough to even enter. You know, sometimes there's a short-term low, and I don't trust it to not get knocked out. You know, because there's no manipulation or because there's a liquidity pool below it. So yeah, it's all about patience. And if you could give the audience one piece of advice before you leave, what would it be to a new trader?
To a new trader,
or actually just in general.
Anybody in general?
In general, whatever you can do. A new trader.
Yeah.
In general.
I mean, I know that this is a very cliched thing to say, and I always say this, but like, truly focus on the process. You have to understand that everything that you want and desire that is tied to your success is nothing, like, it really has nothing else to do with just the input. Like, you have to be able to be honest with yourself. That's like a huge piece of advice. Be brutally honest with yourself, not in a guilt tripping way, but in a third person perspective where you can view yourself, be honest, what you are failing at, what you are succeeding at, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, how to improve it, and just be honest with yourself and make the steps, and don't rush the process. Like, if you fully believe that you will end up walking the steps to be successful, then you're going to walk the steps to be successful. Don't rush yourself in your mind and create anxiety out of nowhere. A lot of it's just you creating problems in your mind when in reality there's nothing there. And you always have to reflect on that. Like, make sure that you're not just spinning up a false reality all the time.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that. Yeah, you heard it from him, you guys. Be honest with yourself and take responsibility. Trust the process. And you can find Justin on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. All his links are in the description if you want to check him out. And thanks for coming on, Justin. It was awesome. Appreciate it. Have a good one, and good luck and good trading today.
Yes. Enjoy your day, guys. Be safe today.
Bye. Out. All right, everybody. That was fun. Let me know if you want me to do more of that in the future, like have more traders come on. Let's see here. We didn't do the little poll in the chat whether you guys are bearish or bullish today, so let's go ahead and do that. Welcome. It's Great Friday. It's a beautiful day to read price action. Let's see here. Let's put up the chat, the little poll here. Let's go here. Please bring ICT as guest. You know, he did promise me he'd come like in August, I think, when price action was slower. I should have held him up to that. Maybe we will get him. Okay. Okay. The poll is up in the chat. Okay, I just put up myself to put the poll up, so that was kind of funny. Okay, what are you guys? Bearish, bullish? I mean, I like the SMTs. I mean, for TGIF though, I mean, mostly I do like that better when you have like every day's been down day. Here, Monday was huge down day. Wednesday. You know, I think Wednesday I shorted too. So, I mean, the mornings have been just so, yeah, every morning open has basically been bearish, right? Yeah, Wednesday. And then it like really retraced deeply here. And yes, like paused 50% here. I mean, I could see that happening because we still have those equal smooth highs at the high. I'm sort of neutral / bullish today, I suppose. What are we up here in the chat? It's 50-50, 41% bullish, 40% bearish, 18% neutral. Yeah. I mean, what we could do is look at here. You have a little 4-hour FEG that did get respected there. I mean, I'm looking at the 4-hour. It's all right. It's not particularly bullish, but you just have the SMT, and then you have, I see these like little tiny it's not like this is really breaking a high or anything, or BPR. I'm not so in love with that. On the 1 hour, maybe. It's kind of like a mess setup, you know. I'm kind of looking at maybe, this is hourly. I'm just not totally loving this. I mean, this is some sell side, I guess. So maybe we run this and then go higher. Tricky. We have the open right now. We have 10 a.m. news. Honestly, I'm probably going to wait until after that because I've been noticing these 10 a.m. news candles, 100 points straight up. 150 point candle like last week on Muse. And then what was it on Tuesday where, Justin mentioned he got stopped out. I mean, I know a couple other people that also entered before 10 a.m. news that day and they got stopped. And that day we manipulated twice before going to lower, right? We went down, up, then down again. Well, can mark this out as London low. Increase the video quality time. It's on 1080. How is it not? The heck? Settings, full definition, general, full definition. Let me try to unshare and then stop screen share and start again. Share screen. Maybe if I do the window instead. Is this better? Let me know. See, what does my assistant say? All right. Let's see. See this. It looks good to me when I put. Oh wait, this is not on the YouTube. Let me see the YouTube tab. It looks okay. Huge SMT at the open. Someone says. I don't really see much of an SMT there. Castillo, let me know how the video quality is when they're looking at my charts. Can I do 4K? No. I don't think anyone like streams in 4K. I'm not gonna do a collaboration with people that were disrespectful to our mentor. So time to use a bigger mouse icon. I don't know, can you change that? Lots of requests in the chat right now. Right now you have an SMT where NQ is taking a pre-market high. Yes, is not. Okay. TJR? That guy is crazy. That's brain rot 101. I saw that weird ass AI video. Dodgy made sure I saw it. It was weird as hell. I'm not gonna say what it was. What happened to the usual setup? Because when we have a guest, I have to do it differently. But it's mad annoying if it's not like I'm paying for this software. Like it's mad annoying if it's not giving me full resolution. I put 1080. Let's see. Do. Right now we're just pushing up. There's been nothing of that interest anyway. I wanted a manipulation lower. We're just like strongly going higher. Not much. Like the only thing that I came into is a 15-minute FEG there. I suppose that was enough. I mean, hey, we're still like a ways away from. Wait a second. Where was the PPI data high? Here, right? Ugh, that's annoying. Yeah, this is where I was aiming for yesterday. Makes sense. It's fine if it hits it now. Do. You guys were 50-50 today. And let me stop the poll there. No. You guys were 40, 44, 41 percent, 50-50 today. Okay. Timers. By the way, I love having this. This is like a great little tool you could have just in life in general too. This little like visual timer. But I like to use it also when I'm in a trade. So I know how much time has passed. Okay. Do I have a dog? No. I don't have a dog. I travel too much to do that. It's too much responsibility. Right now is a great time in my life. My 20s, I have very little responsibilities. I'm not gonna just add a dog in there. Did we hit that PPI data high here for NQ? 606, yeah, we did. Yep, we tapped into it. Okay. Do. How do I determine daily bias? Well, you can just look out my. I honestly think you should just watch my live streams at the beginning of every stream. I basically go into it. When is the special guest going on? We just had him. We had him at 9 a.m. Let me think right now. What am I doing? Yeah. How old am I? Guess. What do they say? They say you should never ask a woman her age, a man his salary, something like that. I don't know. Okay, great. Everyone wrote in the 20s. Well, did me. So there's a couple of people writing 45, which is kind of funny. They're just trolling. um, yeah, most people are around the right one. I'm 14. Nice try, Diddy. Someone asked if I'm the same age as Brian Stock. Yeah, Brian is 14. He's actually my twin brother. He's my Asian twin brother. Oh. We have 10 a.m. news today, so I'm not really in any kind of rush. NQ hit this PPI data high. Yo, Alex, I saw this comment. You just deleted it. It's low-key hilarious. Oh, that was so funny. Nice try, Diddy. My birthday is actually next month, you guys. I'm about to turn 3 cubed. If you know math, 3 to the third power. Next month. Oh, and actually in 2 weeks. Ew. April 1st. Oh my god, that's scary. Is that 2 weeks? Pretty much. Scary. You guys like my new rug? While we wait for 10 a.m. news. It's good. It is taking away some of the echo. But yo, I've been wanting to put wooden panels up for a while, and seriously, got 3 out of the 4 packages. And I just talked with Amazon. I was like, hello, where's my last package? Got delayed twice. And they're like, we're so sorry. We'll get on top of it. It'll come in 24 to 48 hours. Here's a $60 credit to your account. They didn't give me the $60 credit. And also, it's still not here. So, mad annoying. So we just had basically straight up at the open, repriced to a 15-minute fair value gap, and then we just went straight up on ES and NQ. Tanya, estás muy bonita. Gracias. Reverb, not echo. LOL. Yeah, I'm an Aries. Whatever that means. ¿Hablas español? No. Hablo un poquito. Soy un gringa y no tengo amigas con puedo practicar español. Still confident shorting this thing. We have lost a bullish trend line from 2023 on the daily chart, says somebody. Why do you have a useless silent J in your name? Damn. How is a J silent? It's not Tana, it's Tanya. Sound uncultured. Because I'm Eastern European. Slavic. Chat's kind of crazy today. Barack Obama in the chat. Yo, the chat's crazy today. He said I'm Slavic. Someone's asked me, were your grandparents slaves? Yo, that's funny as hell. It's horrible. And you could only ask me that. Oh, you guys are crazy. You guys are legit crazy. What is going on here with trading view lagging this much? Let me make sure that everything's Gucci here. Annoying. Anyway, I'm just waiting for after news. Honestly, it's also a Friday. It's Capital Preservation Friday. Oh, yeah, and I had my assistant remind me. Today is a full moon. I saw Pax tweet that, and he said it's also, I think, the heaviest day of rollover, and then also that it's a full moon, and he doesn't trade full moons. That's wild, because he's been trading for like 30 years, and he was in the pit, and I'm like, oh, just my assistant. I was like, remind me that tomorrow, because like I'll be keeping that in the back of my head. I don't know. People are crazier on full moons, I think. Mm-hmm. Yo, someone CK Trade Zone. Hey, Tanya, you look pretty damn happy today. Why is that? Did you drink something in the morning or did you smoke weed? And then they added 12 question marks. No, I don't. My name is Tanya and I don't smoke ganja. Sorry. I just had a good night's sleep, got my electrolytes. It's a Friday. Yo, Schaffner says, I sold cars for a decade. The craziest people always come out in full moon. Never failed. That's wild. That's wild. Full moon effect. The girl got dad jokes. The Jane Ganja is silent, just like the Jane Tanya. That's I really don't even know. Maybe am I saying that wrong, or are you guys making jokes there in the chat? Yo. She had today is holy. Is today holy? 20 years of emergency room work. I can verify full moon goes nuts. Yeah, honestly, yeah. I've worked I did clinical research in the emergency room for like 3 years. I also volunteer in the emergency room for 2 years, and I definitely saw that. And you know, it was crazy, I would say, when I was doing clinical research there. So I wasn't working on the patients directly. I would just like interview them. but I would see everything that was happening. And working at a level trauma 1 center in New York City, you see some crazy shit. Definitely remember that. Time this guy like just walked in from the street and he was like, I just got stabbed. Just walking down the street, and like it was just like it was a really tiny puncture in his chest, but there was a lot of blood. We're making you high day again on NQ. I wonder if today's just like straight up. What's my daily bias? Daily bias is it's a full moon. It's going to go crazy. How I prepare my electrolytes, I buy the powder packets from Element. Not sponsored. Yeah, put in the chat who else you guys want to see on as a guest. So far, we've had, Brett Simba, Bed Rodrigo, and we've had Justin Werlein. And then in person, I had Dodgy come on the stream too. And in person, we had T-Trades, but he didn't do his face reveal. It was just on the side. Maybe I should give him a call right now. Should do T-Trades face reveal on this stream. Okay, some people said Jared. Honestly, I could do Jared. Yeah, you could put salt in your water too, but I like magnesium also. Most people are deficient in magnesium. Yeah, so you guys were half at 50-50 bearish bullish. I mean, I have all this like CPI high marked too. Do you guys think we'll get there? It's only 180 points away. So today, so far, the range has been 168 points. I should bring Donald Trump on the stream. Ugh, I don't have that kind of pull. I like watching his granddaughter golf. She's cool. She definitely influenced me to buy my American flag sweater from Ralph Lauren. It's a great sweater. Oh, did I tell you guys? I don't think I told you guys. I went to trivia on Wednesday. And it was crazy. It was crazy. We won 3rd place, thankfully. Last couple times we were like dead last. Went to a new spot. And it's much more difficult, or maybe the people are just there way more competitive. But anyway, one of the women there that I know, and she like organizes Broadway, like groups of us go and watch some Broadway musicals or plays, which by the way, I really did confirm to myself after going to a musical. I watched a play with Robert Downey Jr., McNeil. That was great. But then I watched a musical, Sunset Boulevard. And I was like, yeah, I think musicals are just too much for me. I think that's just too much overstimulation. The singing was like too strong, it's too loud. I love like orchestra. Like I've been to the New York Philharmonic recently. Like I love that kind of stuff. I went to the ballet. I love that. But musical, I don't know. It's just too much. Anyway, her husband was there as well. And he works for a hedge fund, right? So I was asking him a bunch of questions. I was like, oh, what do you trade? He was like, well, I'm an analyst for Asian futures, right? So I was like, oh, okay. So like the Nikkei and the Hang Seng, right? And he said, yeah. And someone asked like, oh, how's that going for you? And he's like, oh, actually, my team blew up. We hit our max drawdown since end of February. So they've all been let go, and he has to find a new spot within the hedge fund on a different team if they'll like take him. So basically he has to like interview with other managers, portfolio managers. There's like 300 of them within the company, within the hedge fund. But it was cool to just learn about, oh, that's what happens. Like, yeah, they blow up, and then like, yeah, the portfolio managers completely let go from the company, and they have to go find another seat within the firm. Otherwise, they're out of a job. But anyway, he's an analyst. So you have like, it's different where he's providing the analysis and then the trader is executing based on his analysis. And, that's how it typically works. Meanwhile, we're all doing our own analysis and executing it. But that was wild. Someone said you should have given him your YouTube link. LOL. Yo, I did, because they were asking me like, what do you do? And I'm like, oh, I actually day trade NASDAQ and the S&P 500. And then I forgot. Like, I honestly, if I'm meeting someone new, I'm not going to mention YouTube because it tends to overpower the conversation. But my other friends within the trivia group, they mentioned it, and then I was like, yeah. And then they were like, oh wow, that's really cool. That was a nice like reaction, because sometimes, I don't know, I kind of brace myself for like a reaction where it's like, oh, that's voodoo, or that's not, what you're doing is BS or something like that. I don't know. So that was nice. But I don't know. Every time I'm trying to change a time frame, it's lagging, which is so stupidly weird. Let me see if it works on my other. Why is it doing that? Is it because I'm like on a different software? This is the 5 minute? It's already been that much time? Wow. So what did we have so far? We had like we had a reversion back to 15-minute FEG. Then we had a displacement. Took out PPI data highs. We didn't take out Thursday high yet. Should maybe put a poll up in the chat about where do you think we're heading? Do you guys think that this is, well, ES hit PPI data highs as well now. Need to restart, it will solve the freezing. Ugh. Let's see. We have news in about 2 minutes, so yeah, maybe I will then. Let's see. Quick little. Hi, friend TGIF. What do you guys think? TGIF? Or do you think this is the manipulation higher to go lower? We didn't have any manipulation during. Let's see if that fixes the problem, by the way. We didn't have any manipulation during the pre-market. Nah, it's just going slow, maybe because of the software I'm using. So I'll just keep it mostly on the 2 minute, I think is good. Maybe I'll just switch windows when I'm looking at a different one. Okay, share. Okay. This is ES. Let's see NQ here. Keep it on the 1. On the 15, this is about to be the next 15-minute candle close. We'll see what ends up happening here. Is it going to dig up into here? I don't know. Someone said they have the same issue. So you have a little bit of a stop run here. Not really much though. So 1 minute. So we'll see if this ends up being continuation or not for NQ. Holy shit, bro. Look at that drop. That's insane. The fact that that's insane. That's why you don't enter before 10 a.m. news. What the fuck? You guys. What's going on? No, that's a huge candle, dude. That is freaking hilarious. What a crazy day already. I mean, so we'll see now if is that the start of the reversal. All right, you got to be prepared. See if it ends up closing below this. So far, we just took it out that 930 low. How many points was that though? That was wild. Let me try to see the area from here. 10 a.m. open. It's 110 points. I've been saying these 10 a.m. news candles have been crazy. It's the full moon effect. No, it's the Trump effect, right? I mean, I think every 10 a.m. candle just moves twice as much. I mean, every 1 minute candle has been moving twice as much. He got a lot of tariffs recently. He announced, I think he announced yesterday about putting a 200% tariff on European alcohol after the EU said like they're going to put a 50% tariff on American whiskey, like bourbon. Damn. We'll see. They said starting April 1st, and then they said that they're going to have I think the trade commissioner is going to have a talk with the US trade commissioner. We're in the middle of trade wars. It's kind of very interesting. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that this is the reversal to go lower? I don't know. I would like to see like a SMT somewhere. Just have the manipulation. So it's a dim no cognac on your birthday. Or champagne. You gotta preemptively buy stock up on champagne. What was the news? The news was U of Michigan. That was just economic news, regular economic news. Some said buy from my country, no tariff on rice yet. The rice wine. Like soju. Type in the chat where you're watching from. That's funny, Kieran. California, España, Guatemala, Germany, Afghanistan, Romania, Toronto, Italia, Chile, Saudi, Morocco, Zambia, Wisconsin, from the UK, Detroit, Big Money, Texas, Paraguay, Ethiopia, Malta, Poland, Netherlands, San Francisco, Mexico City, Pakistan, Morocco, Croatia, Kenya, Iraq, Sicily, Canada, Zimbabwe, Mars, Slovenia. Cool. We're worldwide in here. Huh. I mean, the thing is, I want to see how this 15-minute closes. We just had like this huge 15 minute to the upside. I'll check out how it closes later. New York City, Boston, the moon, okay, and Jupiter. So once I get like 2 in a row of outer space, we good. Yeah, I'd rather wait because don't know if that was manipulation or what. This is a tricky day. Up, down, up. Just very large candles. It's a full moon day. Imagine like all the people that put their stops at the New York 9:30 low. Oof. Or tried to enter shorts on the thinking more continuation. Like right now they're both losing. So it feels very difficult. It's a very tough day. What's the range here? Like about 182 points. Patience is key, I agree. Paziente. So now you have like daily. Someone said SMT at the lows. I don't see that. They both took out 9:30 low. There's no divergence. Someone asked, like, can you explain SMT? It's when one asset takes a high and the other doesn't, and like you're bearish. That's one of the confirmations that you could potentially start seeing unraveling lower. I'll wait for the next confirmation for like a market structure shifter after that, right? So the daily, on the daily, where you saw that ES took out a what is it, the Tuesday low, well, like new low of week, made a new low of the week yesterday, and Q didn't. That's a potential clue that we might have a short-term bounce. But that being said, it's still not easy. Longs here. Yeah. I'm just looking at the charts and I don't really, it's difficult. It's difficult. So very large wick here, very large candles up and down. Difficult to frame a trade. So, and also what's the draw on liquidity? If I'm bullish, I would go for a CPI high. But I don't see much of a manipulation. We took out the 9:30 low, but there's no divergences. It's a pretty tough market here. Not really, and I mean, just look at what we've had. Oh, is it going to take forever? Ugh, I regret that. Oops. Trading acting up today. Let me add another screen. Okay. I mean, yeah, this is the RTH for ES. We've just been ranging, and same thing for NQ from here to here. Regular trading hours, right? This is 9:30. This is 4:15. Same thing since 9:30 on NQ. Yeah, it's not really a trendy day, and that's where I thrive, trending days. So I'm not really gonna think too hard about this. I can see it potentially going lower, but I just don't see anything great. I think I've been watching for an SMT, right? There's nothing. So I think I said I was neutral / bullish today. So far it's pretty neutral. Seek and destroy, I think, right? You just you took out the high and then the low. You took out PPI data high from yesterday, which is just the 830 high. That's what that is, like the wick, the top of the candle from yesterday. And then we took out 930 low. And so if it's like seek and destroy, it's probably going to take out another high soon. And then I'll kind of just think it's either seek and destroy or high resistance higher. It's hard to tell when it's this early in the session, but it's me just kind of saying like, okay, risk off right now. Jivraj says, you missed long and short opportunity. Yeah, sure, bro. Where's your guest? He was at the beginning of the stream. I said it was be at 9 a.m. We talked pre-market. So at the end of the stream, you can like go back at the beginning and watch what he has to say. Talked pretty well about like, gave some good advice. Someone said you missed your blowing your account opportunity too. Exactly, yeah. Like, I'm happy. I'd rather miss a trade than take a loss. And that's something I feel like you have to train yourself for. And that's what I've learned from Pax Trader 777. He's been in the game for over 30 years. You know, you have to look at people who've been in the game for a long time, not people that have just been around for a year or so. And he talks about that. He's like, yeah, I'd rather miss a trade than take a loss. Most people, they'd rather take a loss and miss the trade, but like you have to think about your risk and your capital. If it's not clear, you don't do much. Yeah, I don't know. It's sure, it did retrace to OTE here. It's just very, very scary for me to shorted that. / I was bullish / neutral, and / I was also, for me to get involved, I wanted SMT or something. We didn't get anything. So far, we're just like, I think this is very seek and destroy nature. We had all these people who are probably long put the stop at the 930 low, and people that might have been eager to, the low's breaking, or like I'm gonna get another pullback. Might be a very large range pullback. And then you also have people that are like, maybe, this push up, they're long versus this low here. This is a huge wick V-shaped recovery. Well, it's gonna hurt those people as well. So, I mean, the only winners right now are people that entered at OTE, optimal trade entry retracement of this leg, which is 62% to 78% retracement. It's golden pocket zone, right? Yeah. At the very least, if there's a leg down like this, you don't want to be shorting, just like straight up in here. You have to wait at least 50% of the leg, okay? It'll keep you safe then. That's how I keep myself safe a lot of times. But even so, let's say you entered here. It could have definitely retraced to here. There's a FEG here, and it did. So it's not safe to put your stop here. But yeah, that's so far. Those are the winners of today so far. I don't really see much else unless someone else like just took a little quick scalp here to the PPI data high. Otherwise, I don't really see much. It's a tricky market, right? We had this huge candle to the downside. It was so crazy. I mean, this was like 5 seconds. I remember my reaction here and the chat's reaction. We're like, what? Like, it moved so violently that the screen was like lagging. It took time for it to form. And now it's sort of slow. Feels kind of slow. So people are in pain. I don't know. Looks like it's fast and furious. That's why I'd wait for another leg, and then you see if there's another swing low that gets broken. But right now, there's nothing that I like here. I'm kind of just noting these like swing lows. There's no displacement there or anything to take that lower. You have a little FEG here, but that you can mark out probably. Where's the first presented FEG of the day? Here. And it doesn't really help at all today. It just shows it's high resistance day. Okay, and for here it's this. Yeah, you've just been whacking straight back and forth through that, so. For me, this is low probability day. I mean, I just look at the 4 hour, we're in the middle of this range. Someone said the stock heat map is green AF. Let's see. That's pretty green. NVIDIA is up 3%, but everything else is kind of flat / slightly green. Let's see the NAS. Right here. NASDAQ. Okay. NVIDIA, the leader today. But, NVIDIA has been on a downtrend. It's just like you're going to have very large bounces in corrections. There's some of the largest bounces happening during bear markets and during corrections. We would officially be in a bear market once we're 20% off the highs. So we're not there yet. We're just like in a correction. I think that's like 10% off the highs. It's been pretty slow. Have you guys taken a trade? Daniel Park says, go long, Tanya. We should mark that out on the chart. He said, go long here. No, most people said too many mixed signals for me. I agree. What's the best tip I received from Jared Tendler's book? I think it's a good concept. I don't know if this is in his book, but it's definitely in his. He has a YouTube too, in his teachings that your brain has 3 levels to it of how it works. The first level is just like things you don't think about, right? The parasympathetic nervous system, such as breathing, your blood pressure, blood flowing, things like that, your heart beating. You're not actively controlling that or thinking about it. The second level is your emotions, okay? The third level is higher cognitive level thinking, critical thinking, making decisions, things like that. So once your second level, if your emotions are completely overpowering your brain and flooding your brain, they are making it impossible for you to reach your third level of higher cognitive thinking skills. So if your brain is flooded with emotions, you literally cannot make good decisions. That's why when people get angry, some people punch a wall and then they're like, sorry, I wasn't thinking. Yeah, because they literally weren't thinking because it was impossible. They're completely overloaded. And it's because they have not come up with a way to regulate their emotions. What is regulation? It's simply most people are in fight or flight a lot of their time, right? So regulating your emotions is a lot of times just bringing yourself back to the present moment and calming yourself down. There's no rush and there's no active danger, right? A lot of people's like their limbic system, which is the emotional part of the nervous system, it's completely overactive because the brain there, it's always trying to protect you from pain or protect you from danger. So you're going to have a lot of false positives, right? Like that's when our ancestors, they heard of rustle in the leaves and their hearts started beating a lot faster, and yours will too, because they think, oh, that could be a lion, but it was just the wind, because that protected them. That's way better than a false negative where, oh, you didn't see it coming and it was a lion, And so you're going to have a lot of times where your amygdala, the emotional center of your brain, is flaring up and there's nothing to be afraid of, really, right? So you have to really just train yourself for those moments, which is, I actively do it by measuring the candlesticks and watching them form. Just watching the candlesticks form, even if you're not taking a trade, this is good practice, because I mean, like, even just watching this and be like, wow, that's still good practice, because you're preparing yourself so when you're in a trade, you're ready to watch a large candlestick go against your trade for a couple minutes and you got to keep your stop there, because it didn't you got to keep your stop there because it didn't invalidate your trade idea. It didn't hit your stop yet. But so many people, they see a large candle go against them and they're cutting their trade early because they're scared. And then it runs towards their direction. Now they're pissed off and now they're going to revenge trade, right? I know, because I've been there. So it's all about training yourself. When it comes to those moments, it's okay. Just map out your emotion. Map out what, okay, thank God now there's no lag. When it comes to those hard moments in trading, you're feeling emotional, that's okay. Just after that pops up, map out your emotions on a scale to 1 to 10, right? If you're feeling fear, you got to have 1 to 10. You don't have to have all of them filled out, but let's say level 1 fear. What are you doing and what are you thinking? So level 1 fear for me, maybe it's just like I take a larger breath than usual. I'm thinking, oh, wow, that's it. That could be it. Level 3 fear could be like, I'm just like impatient, or no, I'm not. No, level 3 could be for fear. I don't know. I honestly don't have much for fear, but I think beginners do. Inability to take the trade, right? The hesitation, waiting a couple seconds later, not taking your entry. That's the action. And what you have to write down what you're thinking as well. You could probably be thinking, oh, this could completely go against me and stop me out immediately. And then level 6 fear, let's say, is that you completely didn't take the entry at all. And you just watched it go without you, or you watched it potentially stop you out. But if the point is, if it was a valid trade, you should be taking that stop. That's just the name of probabilities. You have to understand what expectancy is. Positive expectancy means that over time, your strategy is going to give you a return, right? So you have to keep taking that same strategy. even if it doesn't work a couple times. That doesn't mean it's not profitable. Can't be fearful of that, etc. Same thing for anger, you know. People have different levels of anger. So the point is, especially for anger, right? You map out your emotions so you know where you're at when it comes up again, and you're able to regulate yourself so that before it gets past the point of no return, right? Everyone has a point of no return where they're completely now frustrated and they're blowing their accounts. Know that where that is for you and like what's leading up to that, because there's always it's not just 0 to 100. And how do you regulate yourself? I mean, you have to have different things where literally I pull myself away. I lean back in my chair to pull myself further from the charts, take my hand off the mouse, take a few deep breaths. And then again, if you feel that you're now past the level where you'll be able to bring yourself back, then that's where you remove yourself from the charts. Because there comes a point of, the point of no return where you're now unable to think critically and logically anymore. Like, oh no, this is bad price action. I don't have an edge here anymore. I should step away. It's too late because you're too emotional and you're too angry and you're going to keep trying anyway. And that's how you blow accounts. So far, you know, we barely even made it out of the 10 a.m. candle range. I don't really love this action, not gonna lie, right? We just had like ES, we're still in this huge candle. You know, this is the range for the day. We're still in this huge range. Don't totally love this. There's no SMT there. Would have been somewhat interested if we had a low divergence there, but we did not. So I'm okay, like, with not taking a trade in this kind of environment. Like, if you can just map out what the structure is today, this is the structure for today. That doesn't look clean at all. Full moon. – 10 a.m. news took out the low, 9:30 low, and we had an OT retracement. We didn't make a new low of the day yet. It's been definitely like a slow grind lower. Nothing I love. Nothing that pops out to me. This is a very like 50-50 environment where I don't want to put my money down. Do I have Instagram? Yeah, it's just Tanya Trades on Instagram. You can check the description for my links. It's just the same thing. I only have one Instagram. I only have one Twitter. And it's just Tanya Trades. That's it. Beware of any scammers or anything. I don't manage anyone's money. And I would never ask you to send me money. Because there's plenty of bots and scammers there. And people ask me all the time. But I think for the most part, no one really got scammed because it's quite obvious. I wouldn't ask you to send me Bitcoin. Like, that's so weird, right? I don't even trade crypto. And I don't even have a mentorship or a course or whatever. Like, I trade for live on YouTube. Why would I just randomly message you? I don't even manage my own dad's funds. Like, he's been like let me know when you're ready. I'll give you money. And I'm like, no thanks. That's way too much pressure. It's enough pressure trading your own funds, right? I definitely don't recommend trading other people's funds. It's not fun. I've never done it either, though. But I just know personally that would stress me out so much, especially if it was my parents. Ooh. I'd rather just give them my money, you know? Here's... But I'm excited, you guys. Next, this Sunday, I'm gonna head over to Naples, Florida, for the Ninja Trader live launch. So every Monday, I'm gonna be trading on Ninja Trader Live. It is pretty crazy to me that, you know, when I first started trading futures, that's the platform I got in 2022 when I switched from trading options to futures. And, I've been executing my trades on Ninja Trader. And now, wow, now I'm going to be on their show. Well, I've been on their show last year too, but now I'm going to be a regular. So that's pretty cool. It's kind of crazy. 3 years later, now you're working with them. Life can change a lot in a year or a couple years. So now we're back up here in this little FEG. I do wonder now, is this going to be an SMT? I still don't even like this structure enough. I feel like I'll just tape read this. We'll see if this ends up being a divergence. And then see if ES, we drop lower to new low of day. And of course, there's no more divergence if NQ takes out this high. Yeah, every Monday I'll be on Ninja Trader Live. And they're flying me out to Naples for the launch week. So Naples, Florida, to be clear, not Naples, Italy. So I've never been to Naples, Florida. It's on the west side, so west coast. It's gonna be fun. I'm still gonna stream on my channel, yes, but on Mondays I'll be on their channel. Every other day I'll be on mine. But next week during that launch week, I'll be every day I'll be doing some commentary with them pre-market. I think until 9:15. So I'm going to try to get back to my stream as soon as I can, but if not, then I'll just do Silver Bullet Hour, 10 a.m. I'll try to set it up so I'll be streaming from my laptop in the hotel. I got my laptop set up and a couple of portable screens and such. Yeah. I'll be doing that. It's not much of a reversal from there. I would have just liked one candle to take out that high. Then you have two, and now it's going back again. It's not much of a sharp reversal from here. You can tell price is very ugly when there's not a lot of displacements. And this is a very hard day because it's a range, but yet every 1 minute candle is a very large range within itself, right? A 200-point range, but one 1 minute candle is 40 points. So it's a lot of risk involved with a low probability environment because, there's no trend for today. It's already 10:30, right? We're pretty much near where we opened. Just been up, down, up, it's trashy. The 4 hours just inside the previous 4 hour candle. Okay, thank God trading view is better now. Okay. You see, we're just inside the previous 4-hour candle. I don't really like it. Where's Chris Fisher? Here, I'm gonna turn on stat map right now. I said I was waiting for this 15-minute candle to close because I was interested to see if you're gonna have a change in state of delivery on the 15, which would mean I would want to close below this. Then I would be more interested in shorting the retracement back to the BPR, but we didn't have that. Right. What about the 15 on ES? Same thing. Yeah. So I like waiting for confirmations, especially in this kind of environment. It's like, okay, sure, you could maybe be part of a slow grind lower, but it's not even really worth it for me. I like being part of expansion moves that are quick. Or is that what I wanted? Yeah. It's the open of the 10 a.m. candle. It's a potential manipulation level if we're going higher. But we also hit a potential manipulation level if we're going lower. And it's just not really too clear here what side we're going to take because we're inside the previous 4-hour. For me, I don't really have much of a bias. I think what I said at the open is I wanted a manipulation lower. Yeah, maybe take out like London low and then go higher. And, we went higher first. So makes things very difficult. And, where are we right now? We're still like within this 10 a.m. candle for the most part. We were tracing to this FEG in a premium. Had this, and now it's just a lot of back and forth. And I think a lot of people are just getting wrecked. It feels kind of like yesterday a little bit in the sense, but it's even slower. Feels as if it's sort of just gyrating here, making this accumulation. And I don't know where the manipulation is going to be, So it's a point why I don't want to get involved. This looks a lot like accumulation. It's the worst. I hate it when I'm in a trade and then it just goes back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And I know it's not good because if I go just a little bit profit, break even, a little bit of drawdown, or like it's been a little bit of drawdown for a long time, it means like, yeah, the market's not expanding. Now I'm in a consolidation, or now I'm in an accumulation, and there's a potential I could become liquidity. There could be a potential manipulation that manipulates me out of the trade, So I'm pretty happy I've not gotten involved yet. Very disciplined today. Someone I think saying go long here, and it was kind of funny. I watched that drop. We literally have not moved since then. Someone, the market's asleep today. Careful, it's a full moon. I don't feel like I'm missing anything. I don't really have any FOMO anyway, even if we were going either direction, but there's literally nothing for me to look at. Distribution. This is the daily open. We didn't even manipulate lower. Yeah, this isn't really telling me much here. The thing is, we took the PPI data high before 10 a.m. We took a daily high before 10 a.m. I think oftentimes it's the case where that happens. The rest of the New York session is quite ugly. There's been pretty much a lack of follow through. There's no more SMT there for NQ and ES because NQ is now taking out that high as well. I have an inversion here on ES. There's not really much here. This is very seek and destroy. Right? What was I saying? Took the high, Took PPI data high and then immediately took a 930 low. Stretch time. But immediately took 930 low, and I said, if it's seek and destroy, if it takes out another high, it definitely is. Seek and destroy then. I mean, this is your little intermediate term high, I guess. This one didn't completely fill it in. But, and there's actually, it's not really even an intermediate term high, honestly. If this takes this out and wicks it, then it will be one. So let's just mark out this. I wouldn't even be surprised if it wicks above this and then retraces. It's a loud dog. I like to include the volume imbalances. Anyway, quite happy. These are the kinds of days where it's super important to be watching because you're forging your discipline. Yeah. Now we're back near the 4-hour open. Right, we're at the 10 a.m. open here. It's really not been much. It's been 40 minutes. 10:40 right now. We're back at 10 a.m. open. Mark out ES high there and Q. We got to switch to the 1 second chart, somebody said. I think it's my favorite running joke in the chat that you guys say that, oh, she's chugging vodka. No, it's electrolytes. I don't really drink. The dog sounds like it just blew its account. It's crying. It went for a walk because it blew its account. Do you guys prefer, I think the mic like this when you hear like some white noise in the background, or do you prefer it when it's completely silent when I'm like not talking? Let me know, because typically I do filter out like white noise and things like that. Okay, they like the silence. Okay, cool. Needs chill jazz. Okay, I gotta start practicing my saxophone again so I could whip out my saxophone when we have a banger. We'll do Money Gun. We'll put on the sunglasses and we'll play some Mission Impossible or Pink Panther theme. We're not going to put like music all the time during my stream because there's people, I think we did a poll. Most people prefer no music. I prefer no music too. You could always put your own music in another tab or like on your phone. This is really wonky. I mean, look at the 15. Look at ES on the 15. This is just funny. This is NQ on the 15. It's pretty ugly. See, it's generating more liquidity here, ES, these highs. This is a low probability environment, though. I've not taken a trade yet, you guys, because I mean, come on. Look. Is this a structure I want to be taking a trade in? I don't. Simply, I'm going to do that again. Like, this is the structure today. I'm just literally highlighting the swing highs and the swing lows right now. Wait. Ugh, let me cancel that. Do it again. Do I want to trade in this? No. I like trading in stuff that looks like boom, 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 boom. That's what I like trading. Stuff that looks like this. Not this. You want quick reversals. Quick manipulations and quick reversals. Not this garbage. Your ES took out that little high. But did not, so far, respecting 50% of this. And it's pulling back. I wouldn't be surprised now you have like a little SMT or like a little pullback. I don't know. I wouldn't even be surprised if this now got taken out here. Let's see how this goes. I'm not bullish. I'm not bearish. I said I was neutral bullish today. Let's see. NQ, it's gaining some legs here, so it's about to take this out too. Let's see all the people that were, I mean, yeah. Short's definitely getting stopped out. Wouldn't be surprised if a new high of day gets taken. High, low, and the high gets taken again. It's been taking awfully long time for that to happen, though. Since the manipulation, right? How much time has passed since 10 a.m.? 47 minutes. NQ not reached this high yet. You see here? That's basically if you're long bias and you felt like this is a good stop after the inversion, it did retrace to 50%. That's the only trade I see, but yeah, I don't love it too much because of how long it took to do that. Some people maybe they did long because of this. Oh, manipulation, and then we pause at the midpoint of that wick. Sure. Not really something I want to put my risk on, though. Still, it's just an ugly environment. Yeah, I said it was generating liquidity. Yeah, and then the pullback, decent. 1 hour there. That's probably just my tape reading there. Just like, or I knew it was generating liquidity. But yeah, too slow to even enter that or even feel like doing that. But that's just what I'm gonna. Journal for later. Where's the 50% retracement with that? That's basically where it exactly paused to. Probably like a 1.1. Yep, around a 1.1 there. And if someone were to target the high of day, it would be 1.86. And for NQ, hefty stop there, 47-point stop. 1.5 R to here. And still, this could end up being an SMT. I mean, the fact is it's very slow moving market right now. Okay. It's 1050. Yeah, so this, when it took out this swing high, it didn't make another really swing high here. It continued gyrating here in the upper half. Where's the CPI high for ES? CPI data high. Another 45 points away. CPI was kind of weird, honestly. I did expect it. I did really well shorting, and then took profit on the rest of my runners, stopped in profit, and I just it retraced and just kind of didn't do much the rest of the day. Typically on CPI days, I expect expansion, like continuation, one-sided moves, but here, yeah, we reversed at 11. So at least for this trade, right, that I that I just journaled, that would have been straight up and only been a 4-minute trade. I mean, actually a little longer for NQ would have been a 9-minute trade. We don't even know. Did it take this out yet? No. But yes, did. I don't think that this is a bearish SMT at all because we're still just slowly grinding higher. And you never really want to fade a slow grind. You want to fade like a sharp reaction, sure, but not something like this. Kind of boring day. All right, I think I figured out. It took a while for me to research which kind of laptop giveaway I should do for 100K subs, and so we'll give the winner a choice, and this is gonna be a separate video. I'm gonna get this done today. It'll be your choice of either MacBook Pro or a Lenovo ThinkPad. I think those are like equal in value. do a PC giveaway, not a laptop. The thing with the PC is like, I feel like that's so complicated with all the different parts to it. The person will be able to choose. I'm not asking you guys. The winner will be able to choose because it was like a 50-50 poll. It'll be like around a $3,000 laptop, like a nice one. Sponsored by me. Excited to do a big giveaway. Oh no, you see, like, yeah, we completely stalled here. Now we retraced back into this BPR here, took out this little sell side. Let's see if it respects this BPR. I think that's good for Windows, yeah. Lenovo ThinkPad. I was researching how to enter. Don't spam the chat. It's not going to be now. It's going to be a separate video, and I'll be like, just leave a comment. If you spam the chat, your deadass going to get like put in timeout. Fernando put people in timeout. Someone was being weird as hell. I'm the one printing these candles. Okay, bro. We got the market makers in the chat. Please bring Justin Bieber or Speed to the next live. They don't know how to trade. Microsoft Surface laptop. I'm not even the one putting people in timeout. My assistant is, because I can't be bothered to. I can't be reading everything. There's like 3,000 messages every stream. Playboy Cardi. Didn't he like just drop a new album or something? So here, it's just a super slow moving market. It could go for more buy side. Took out some liquidity here into this little order block BPR. Had a nice little reaction there, but simply not the kind of conditions I like to be participating in anyway. Let's see. Say I wanted to long this. Like after that close, I was like, oh, that's a nice close. And then if I entered, it probably is worth the risk reward, but 1.6, the probability is just, yeah, this is like 0.7 R. If you were long, maybe just below in the 50%, that would be 1 R here. Okay. And then to here, new high days, 2 R, sure. Today, I'm more tape reading. I said, let's see how this reacts here with a nice reaction. I simply don't like how slow price has been and don't really want to participate. This would probably be a quick move to the upside now. You inverted this. Another displacement This should be the new swing low. Yeah, ES new high of day, and Q now running up there. Very quick. Very nice. Pretty slow here, super long accumulation. What it did, it just came back to, it manipulated here, and then it came back to midpoint of that, and then you had some displacement start here over swing highs. But pretty happy to not even really participate today. I'm okay with just reading that price action. I feel like I probably wouldn't, who knows if I would have even managed it correctly, you know? So now we're breaking over the previous 4-hour high. And let's see. Yeah, we have a lot of wicks on the 4-hour on ES and NQ. I don't know why it's wrong. Okay. Yeah, pretty slow Friday morning here. 10:50 was this. Okay, that was the silver bullet. Yeah. A little distracted talking about my giveaway, but honestly, today I really did not feel like putting down risk. Let's see. The 4-hour RTH gap. Okay, 4-hour regular trading hours, 4-hour extended. Mentioned that was respected. And then this was kind of like a reprice. Okay. And now we'll see. I mean, let me think now. I don't know. It's probably more upside. I don't really think that we're probably going to end up going towards at least this wick high. Why does this keep changing? Like, what is going on here? Okay. It probably has to do with like, when I turned on regular trading hours. Yeah. I mean, after 11, this is pretty much has been the case now, right? I've said this a couple times, where the real move happens like after 11, if it's been kind of like choppy, seek and destroy, after it takes like some kind of significant high before 10. A lot of times it ends up being like that. So do you wonder if now like if it's going to be low resistance run higher, which, you know, so far this has been a low resistance bullish run. It's been respecting the swing lows. The order blocks. How much are we up or down today? We're up 2% today. Really? Did we close like down near the lows yesterday? Yeah. Oh, wow. That was a gnarly close. I didn't trade the afternoon. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Am I going to talk to Justin again for the recap? I don't think so. Okay, so what was that 50%? This is my only thing I would journal this. Okay, you had the 930 manipulation, and then there was no swing high that got broken here. And then I just consolidated. Now you have a swing high broken. Finally, with a fair value gap there. Retracement to 50%. I think NQ did hit it, right? Yeah. Maybe not. Then I wouldn't even gotten filled. Oh, it did. 417, 1475. Yeah. Long. To here is 1.5, and to here is 2.2 R. And that would have taken how long? Would have taken 18 minutes. You would not have been in any drawdown. Okay, that's my journal entry. And here, I think it'd be kind of interesting. I might check out the afternoon. Kind of just trying to think about what are the probabilities that it is actually going to hit this. I feel like that's a long ways to go. It's 160 points to the upside, and we're up 2% because of the gap up, essentially, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's all for today. I mean, that's it. I mean, I'm totally fine with just tape reading, watching this price action, how ugly it was, and just staying patient during this time. This did catch my eye, but just not really willing to put down the risk with how slow things were going and how ugly this was. Yeah. See here. CPI data high for ES. Is ES stronger today? It's up 1.6%, but it honestly looks stronger on the higher time frame now, like structurally at the moment. Is it closer? They're around the same. You're about 70 points away from just like the next little swing high on NQ, and you're 18 points away on ES. Yeah, it's around the same. On the 4 hour, on the 5. Now you're getting displacements finally. So far, like, let's see here. The 5 was wonky, had just immediate rebalances. Now you're getting some displacements there. I would think if NQ is, going to go higher, that this is a new order block that should hold price up, because this took out a little bit of liquidity and rebalanced here, and then we displaced higher. And that's if it's going to do that. So like you could watch that if you're still bullish. The thing is, it's after 11:10, and meh, I don't really want to. I guess it also depends on how this 15-minute closes, actually. It'd be good if it closes above that. The 5-minute did, though. Because now this would be a mitigation block on the 5, and it lines up with this FEG. That's like decent. But you're asking for a lot. For this, that's asking for a lot, probably. This is 1.5R. Large stops are wild, so let's see here. From here, it would make sense if it's sort of consolidated now here and then did another little manipulation and within this to go higher. Let's see where it's 11 is here. Okay. Same thing, ES. I don't know. I'm trying to think about like what are the probabilities now that would sort of work out. Like how good is that play? Because it's Friday and it's after 11. If that's still worth it. I mean, the 4-hour has been rebalancing quite well to the upside, and you have a short-term high up there, the CPI high. The thing is, I don't know, I'm trying to envision this 4-hour candle. And it's also quite possible for the next one to be, let's see, this is a 4-hour. Maybe it'll happen during the next 4-hour. Like you have such a large wick here. It completely rebalanced her. I think I'd rather than wait for the afternoon session. I think I would be interested in that. I'd rather not do that because there was a nice 10.50 to 11.10 silver bullet play, and it did just take some buy side. I'd rather just come back later. And still, I'm not even, it's fine. Yeah, I don't feel any FOMO. No trade today for me. Pretty slow, but thanks for checking out my the stream. Make sure to hit the like button and the notification. Oh my gosh, blah, blah, blah. This is why I have to drink a lot of water. I'm talking for 2 hours straight. Hit the notification bell and you'll know when I go live. Next week it might be a little bit funky with the schedule because I will be on Ninja Trader live on Monday, which is gonna be really fun. Yeah, make sure to check that out. Like, I'll be on Ninja Trader's YouTube on Monday. And I'll be down in Naples, Florida. So it might be a little bit funky on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Because I'll be there in the morning until 9:15. And then, so by the time I get back to my place to stream on my channel, it's probably going to be like a little bit, might be like 9:45 or 10 a.m. But I'll still do like silver bullet hour or something. There's plenty of plays after 10. Like you can see today was just, the play was after 10. So good luck if you're trading this. Right now I did retrace to 50%. Like I said, though, I'm just not going to put the risk down today. Just don't have such a great, I guess, grasp on things today. Because it's just been such slow. Now you're getting displacements share to the upside. So good luck if you are continuing trading today, and I'll see you back here next week. Have a great weekend, everyone. Love you. Bye.